Hi, everybody. 5 minutes to showtime. I'm going to go get a mug of coffee in my Peter Pan and Captain Hook mug. I shall return. Come back and eat a cookie. Oh no. Just ignore that hand and arm as I sit off camera. Oh, I've got to write this down. Glad to see you're all joining in. I'll be there in just a moment. Okay. All right. As everyone stares at the picture. You can probably hear me sitting off camera eating cookies. And we have 1 minute. Okay. I should have intro music. I could sing. No, let's not go there.
And they'll charge you for the music.
That's true. You don't want to go there.
Okay, it's 3 o'clock.
Hi, everybody. I am officially here. Hi, I am RJ Ogren, and you're on RJ Ogren and Disney, the group site. I'm here with Romina Blake, who, wait, I'll hold up the phone here so you all can see Romina and Goofy. There she is waving. She's got her RJ Ogren mug.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, she has to hold up there. There I am again. See, twice. Oh, God. Anyway, here we are for another session. And for those of you who have been following the last few weeks, and I posted a picture of this just earlier without all this brown and black painted in. I wanted to go ahead and block in those background colors. Now they're not finished, but I wanted to block them in because that actually took 2.5 hours to do all that. And I don't want to spend the whole show painting black boxes and brown. And also I had posted the other painting that I'm finishing, be finished by the first of the week, which is this Pirates of the Caribbean in the auction scene. And you can see there's more detail, not tight detail yet, but more detail going into it as I paint over the base colors I had on this. And this is the woman here that's commissioned the painting. That's her brother and sister, and that's friends of hers up there. And they're all pirates. So, yes, fun painting, just like this one. And if you didn't know before, hi everybody. Oh, hi Darlene. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. This when I get done blocking, because I'll block a lot of color in here today. Next week I'll actually start painting, over painting this, and doing more detail, and I'll be doing it in regular light and in black light. So from this point on, it's going to get really strange. And it's also going to be done so that it's in 3D, specifically done for special digitized clear 3D glasses. These are not made for the movies. They actually separate the colors. Red comes out the furthest off of the canvas or the wall if I was painting on a wall. Blue sinks into it about a foot, red comes out about a foot, and all the other colors of the spectrum are in between. So how I apply colors and make everything happen when you turn on, this will work in regular lighting, but at night when you turn on the black light, it's enhanced way beyond that. And with the digital glasses on, as you walk across, in the room and you're moving, all these figures will rotate and shift. It looks like they're shifting in front of the bookcase. The figures, the bus in the bookcase here will rotate just like they do in the mansion. So it's a really fun effect. So if you don't want to celebrate by giving out candy at Halloween, you can just put your digital glasses on and stare at your painting, Romina. So no, I'm not drinking from a mansion. I'm actually mugged today. I've got one of my Peter Pan mugs. I have 5, 6, 7 different Peter Pan mugs among all the ones I have. Okay, should put my glasses on. Oh, I was at the VA yesterday. They checking my eyes. Of course, you all know that I had cataract surgery in the past year, and that went really well, and they said my eyes are doing great, but I did complain about the glasses that I had. They're graduated bifocal. Because these particular glasses I have to tip my head way up to be able to see the painting. So it's like, oh God, I'm getting a crick in my neck. And this right side, this right glass, it's like only at the very bottom. I don't know what they were doing. And the VA, the Heinz VA in outside Chicago is one of the best VA hospitals there is. And I know we've heard all this stuff about PTSD and about the veterans and things that are going on and things that are happening, and all the veterans who sadly are committing suicide every day. And I do have depression also caused by the PTSD, but they are taking good care of me, and I'm fine. I'm all right. But anyway, so I went and got that taken care of, and I'm supposed to get new glasses in They say 4 to 6 weeks. It'll only be a couple weeks. They send these to all the one place. I forgot what city it is. I think it's Indianapolis or something like that that makes these glasses. And it was really funny because when I got my cataract surgery and they ordered new glasses for me, it wasn't my regular doctor that did the cataract surgery. It was some other doctor, and he was in a hurry. I didn't like this guy. He's like, "Geez, guys, slow down." And my glasses came, and instead of the frames with the glasses in them, all I had was the glasses. So I squawked into Susie with 2 different pieces of glass. I says, "What am I supposed to do with these?" I says, "Well, I could wear them as monocles, one in each eye, though." So,
That makes it hard for painting.
well, I went to the VA next day to the eyeglass center and went in, and they went, "And all the years we've been here, that's only happened once before." Says it just takes one thing marked wrong by one of the doctors, and this is what happens. Fortunately, they were able to pick out some lenses for me, and the glasses fit. So anyway, hopefully when I get my new glasses, they'll be in a frame when they arrive. So, quick update before I do a little painting here. The no news, can't you tell I'm an actor? No news on the mural. Best I can say is it's. I was going to go to an event this just a couple nights ago, the city of Aurora, because they were installing a new alderman, and the mayor was there and everything else, and I was going to go there and meet them, and I thought I better check with Jen Evans, head of the Arts Council, and I sent her a thing, said, are you going to be there? And she said no, and I said, maybe I shouldn't go. I shouldn't mention the mural. She goes, yeah, it can get very political. So, she said, people in politics might have their favorites. They might have somebody they know as an artist, and they'll go, oh, wait a minute, why don't I have them painted? You just don't know. So rather than make waves, I didn't go to the event, obviously. And so I'm just letting Jen Evans handle everything. She'll tell me when it is in progress. So that's good. Now, and you all want to buy a lovely mug and a t-shirt with my picture on it. So go to Zazzle if you're interested. And go to Amazon or Theme Park Press to order our books. Our most recent book, we are just weeks away from having it done and ready to go to the publisher, Theme Park Press. And I just finished writing another chapter, and I wanted to tell you the title of it. The picture I took of me in front of our fireplace and the sleeping dog, I took another one, and I was actually writing this Haunted Mansion chapter. And the title I gave it is Caught in a Web of Defeat. But defeat is spelled DE-FEET. Now you're going to want to get the book to find out what in the hell is that. Oh dear. And and our car, our 2000 Mustang, red Mustang, which only has 80,000 miles on it, yay, is only years away from being a classic. What is it, 25 years? Yeah, wow. 5.5 more years, we'll have a classic car. We had a 65 Mustang when we got married in 65. But anyway, about a year ago, year and a half ago, I had to get a new battery for the car. And then something happened one day, and the car wouldn't start, and we couldn't figure out. We were, banging on the battery. So finally, I had to have it towed to our to this place. And they got the car started, and they said, it was just a loose connection. Well, I pull out of this garage, and I went, why is my radio on? So I'm playing with the radio, and then the clock's not working, the radio's not working. Only thing that would work would be the CD player. So I went back in and went, you guys, what did you do? He says, oh, we don't work on that stuff. I says, that's not what I asked. I said, what did you do? It worked when I came in. And 20 minutes later, I go out the door, and it's not working. Oh, I don't know. You guess you'll have to go to some specialist. Well, we never got around to it because, of course, we know that's going to cost money. But we could play CDs, so we just kept playing CDs. Well, since then, we found Robinson's Auto Repair, which is great here in Aurora. They're really good people. They've been in business for, gosh, 50, 60 years, something like that. And a father and son run it now. And the and they've done other stuff for me. And just a couple of weeks ago, we got all new tires because we had to. We got to drive to Wisconsin for our Chris's graduation from college, our middle grandson. I wanted to be on good tires to go up to Wisconsin, but then when Susie and I went to see the play, and if you're in the Chicago area and you haven't seen As You Like It, order your tickets online because we sold out last Saturday night, and the ticket sales, they said, are really ramping up this weekend for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday show, and these will be the last three shows. Very funny show. Well, we were going to the theater, and it was Friday night that was actually opening night, and halfway to the theater, the battery light came on. Oh no, that's not good. And I went, oh boy. So we got to the theater, watched the show. So she said, what are you going to do about it? I said, well, I can't do anything until after the show. So, and then our friend Peter, who was in the show, said, well, I'll follow you guys home if the car starts and make sure you get there or whatever. But I got in the car and started it, and the battery light didn't come on. I went, oh, okay. Something's loose. To Peter, I said, you don't have to follow us, but we'll call you in case we need anything. And so we drove home. Halfway home, the battery light came on again. I went, oh boy. I says, this is acting like I really know cars, right? But I've had this happen before. Like it's the alternator. And so we did get home, thank God. And the next morning I went out. At first I called Robinson's and I told them what was going on. I says, well, they said, see if you can start it and see if you can get here, so you don't have to tow, but and I got in the car and it started. Battery light came on. I went, but I made it. I made it there. I made it, which was great. And they did a quick test and they says, yeah, you have 12% left on your alternator. I said, you wouldn't have made it back home if you left here. So I went, because I knew the battery was new. And they said, yeah, the belt's cracked and the alternator is kaput. So $380 later, we got a new alternator, a new belt, and I go out to get in the car, and I went, wouldn't it be funny if I turned the radio on and it came on? So I reached over and put the power, and it goes. I went, holy, wow, the radio works. They inadvertently had fixed my radio, so I didn't have to pay for it. That was great. That's life, right? Stuff we go through every week. And then my wife was doing laundry. She comes upstairs. She says, the washing machine's making noise. I went, oh, geez. It's one thing after another. Okay. And yeah, I'm going to show you this stuff because I'm going to start painting. Everybody's going like, are you going to paint or not? Geez. And if you are interested in me creating a painting for you, whether it's just a stretch room painting or something like this, just message me through Facebook and we'll discuss it. And I'll give you all the information and pricing and everything. And but I just found these. You were going through stuff because we're, of course, compiling pictures for our third Disney book. And this is, there, can you see that okay, Romina?
No.
No?
Well, it'll show up if there's a delay, so it'll probably show up in a minute. Okay.
That is me, yeah, yep. Inside a frame for a photo. That's at Disneyland on April 5th, 1964. I had just come back from a year in Hawaii and was only, 4 or 5 months out from going to Vietnam. which at this time, we didn't even know what Vietnam was, at least all the service people. And there's another one of me, one of those crazy things where you stick your head in the circle. Okay, that's funny. It was neat to find those. And then I have crazy dreams. Hopefully I don't have as many nightmares. I have nightmares because of the PTSD and Vietnam and everything, but they're not as often as they used to be, which is good. Shows I'm getting good treatment. But I also have very colorful and very odd dreams about a lot of things all the time. And literally this morning, I was dreaming just before I woke up about being in this huge basement of a house or a building. And I was finishing painting. There were two railroad engines, full size, sort of facing each other, but like they were on a different track. And but they're the back of each one, and by the cab area, I was painting the rest of the train on the wall behind them, the cars they were pulling. And I was thinking, well, wait a minute, I can do this if I paint it just this way. And this other person came downstairs and those look great. And I said, yeah, watch this. And all of a sudden the train started moving and the trains were passing each other. And I woke up. I don't know what that means, except that maybe I should talk to my psychiatrist again.
I feel like we need closure from that dream. I feel like we'll need an ending.
And where did it come from? It's like, good Lord. Okay. Very, very weird. And now I'm actually going to paint. Let me see here. And these are just base colors I'm putting on. And so I'm not worried about detail, or this is one of the hitchhiking ghosts who I can never remember all their names. This is the tall, skinny one with the
Ezra.
Ezra, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm supposed to know that, but I do. I just don't remember. This is cuff and a little bit of his hand. Of course, part of it is getting a base color and covering this canvas. Now I'm going to paint the ceiling up here. That'll be black. I don't know that I'll do that today. Here I've got his hat over here. His hat is floating. And this is fun because I'm sitting at an angle to this, and his hat is way over there. I could move the canvas over, but nah.
Yeah, you're good.
You couldn't even see. Could you see the hat?
I can barely see a shadow when you move your hand, because your hand is giving light to something's shining on your arm, which makes a reflection, and then I stop seeing it. It could be only me.
Well, maybe we have too much light here. Let's see if that's. Oh, that might be better. I think I had
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, so it doesn't shine on your arm, which reflects on the painting, which is a little weird effect.
Okay. I have a strange reflection.
Well, Darlene is online, Craig, Gail, and Amy.
Hi, everybody.
Darlene says, looks like Haunted Mansion is in view. Craig says, play Grinning Ghost for your waiting time.
Oh, that's a good idea. I should have me here. You're absolutely right. I'll have to work on that. I'm going to come over here now. Yeah, we can see him.
Oh, yeah.
and paint the other hitchhiking ghost. Of course, we have. All right, go ahead, Romina. That's Ezra.
That's Gus. That's Gus
That's
with
Gus.
the ball and chain.
Oh, that's Gus. That's right.
Yes. Okay. Now, Gail says that Disney World has some really cool Haunted Mansion mugs out right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And speaking of which, they unveiled the gondolas, the themes of the gondolas, and one of them, of course, is the Haunted Mansion. But it's a little more like if it was animated, you know what I mean, cartoony.
Ah, oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how the ghosts are portrayed, as well as Madame Leota is portrayed in that.
Mad
that
Leota? Mad? Is she scary?
Madame Leota.
Oh, Madame Leota. Oh, I'm sorry. That sounded like you said mad.
No, Madame. Amy says you are such a great storyteller, and she loves hearing your life adventures.
Oh, thank you. You know, my wife says, I've heard this before. Keep talking, RJ. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee while you tell this story to everybody. No, she says it with an amusing laugh. Yes. But thank you.
You'll be happy to know that there is a Peter Pan themed gondola.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be very cool. And of course, they have all their animated movies represented in the gondolas, as well as Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy. So
I did not.
Ratatouille, Moana, Frozen, all of those are going to be there.
I did not know they were going to theme those. That's pretty cool.
Yes, yes. I'll send you a link to the pictures.
I'll never get Susie into one of them.
Oh no, because you know they don't have air conditioning, right?
No, and they're relatively small and enclosed, and Susie has claustrophobia pretty bad. So
yeah, they say they fit 10 people, but I've stood outside of one, and I don't think that's accurate. It might be like maybe 5 adults and 5 children.
Yikes!
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely does not fit that capacity adults. I can tell you that much. Unless the inside is much, much bigger, which I doubt it. I stood right next to one at D23, and nope. But one of these days we'll look at it, or I'll wait for the people to post their comments online and see what they think about it. They're pretty soon going to be open to the public.
That's going to be interesting to see.
Yes, for sure.
Now I'm painting her a very light smoky blue, because her colors will be whitish blue, and the hitchhiking ghosts actually be a cross between some blue and a green when I put their final colors into. But this is the opera singer.
Brian says, hey, RJ, hi, RJ, be nice to Suzanne. Thought of you while at Star Wars Celebration at Disney, and had a booth on Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes, I heard when Disneyland opens their Galaxy's Edge, they're going to limit it to 4 hours. And the way they're going to do that is they're going to give people different colored arm wristbands to wear. So at their time up, then they have to exit that area of the park.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very unusual. It's going to be interesting to see how this works. I'm skeptical about a lot of this.
So are a lot of people.
You know, you start telling people they have to leave that could backfire. There are going to be people who are not going to want to leave, and they're going to give them a hard time.
Yeah, that happens now.
Yeah. And of course, in our last book here, Susanna is writing some great chapters about Disney, about, it's how it came about. And they're not long chapters, but they're so well done and so concise. But and some of them bring a tear to your eye. They really will. About Walt and Roy and things that happened during Disney World's before and after construction and all that stuff. But also the talking about what it costs to get in. All the characters that used to walk around the park. Of course, Suzanne ended up being one of those, and not in photo places, but walking around the park doing half-hour sets. And there she is. And let me see here. I have, these guys here. These are I'm just going to rough this in real quick. These are the ghosts sitting on the chandelier, toasting with glasses, I believe, champagne.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Remember, you're still going to be one of the busts in the library.
Yes, one of these busts is going to be me. and there'll be 4 books. Maybe I should put Susie's novel on here too. It's put out by Theme Park Press. But the books on the table with Madame Leota will actually be our books that are the books that Suzanne and I have written. So, and there will be hidden Mickeys. It's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of places for me to hide them on this painting.
I just noted that you painted the crow.
Yes, there's the crow right there. The raven, crow, I don't know.
Raven, that's
Raven,
correct.
yeah.
Raven is more appropriate.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, that's on the gondola, the raven and the casket.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I thought it was a cool detail because it is in this painting.
Okay. I don't know if you want. Good thing they didn't do one with a coffin theme. I don't want to write that one. Oh, jeez.
They're themed on all 4 sides of the gondola, so it's a wrapped. Yeah, it's not just on one side. So the crow, the raven and the casket's on one side, the 3 hitchhiking ghosts on the other, Madame Leota is on another side, and I can't remember what's on the 4th side.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to repel the sun. You know how they put those things on the windows of the cars that are more like a mirror. It's supposed to be like that and reflects the sun out, which obviously might help with the heat inside. But there's going to be 8 to 10 bodies in there in the heat, so I just don't know how that's not going to generate more heat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, should be real interesting. This is the suit of armor. He has plumage, which I'm just going to paint gray for the moment. And if you haven't been on here when I've been painting before and you're going like, why are you doing this rough? I'm putting in just base colors, not exactly the finished color, but I'm also, just blocking in the colors so I can look at it and make sure it's what I want and everything, but also it is with acrylic paints, especially you're covering the canvas, because as this first coat dries, you end up with little specks of white and where it's not completely solid and everything, and that's fine. That's because the acrylics contract a little as they dry and tighten up. But then when I do the finish painting over it, I've got a nice base, and it actually makes it faster to paint at that point. Let's keep this out, this gray, because now I can put that on the floor and hopefully not step on it. Yeah. And let me get the black here. Yeah, black. Okay.
What will be really interesting is to see how you do the shadow of the ghost that's playing the piano.
Yes, the shadow. This is the piano. So we've combined the library and the music room into one painting. Yes. And over here on this side, you can't really see all of it. I'll have to shift the painting over here in a minute. Is the coffin in the hallway. There's the clock. Of course, there's the raven, and there's a stand there by the foot of the coffin. And over here, when I shift this, you'll see it. There's the ladder going up to the bookcase, and the book that I actually wrote about that I redid completely. It's still working great. And of course, Madame Leota, and the rugs on the floor, and the piano. So it's a combination of these. And out here is the cemetery with the singing bus and the caretaker and the dog looking in the window, and all this that's going on. But right now I'm painting the floor between the two carpets. There is a carpet, an oriental rug under Madame Leota, and there is a rug, or oriental rug, under the piano. Both kind of faded and old looking. I think, see, I'm now thinking, like, what did you ask me before? Because I think I got off track when I started talking.
No, the shadow.
That was it. Yes. This right here, these lines, this was the stool. I painted over it. I had the stool here, but I'm going to move the stool over here because there is the sheet music there, and kind of line it up. This gives me more space to put the shadow on the floor right here.
Right.
Of the ghost playing the piano. And I'm painting the floor just below the baseboard of the window. And I'm painting right around the side. I wrap this. And when I get angles of things going like this, the angle changes on the edge. So if this isn't put in a frame and you see it hanging on the wall, it looks like it's still at the right angle. I do little crazy things that comes from my doing renderings for architects for years and everything. Okay, and then over here, I'm painting just below the clock, the base of the clock right now. And this whole bit here is actually a big arrangement of basically dead flowers that the raven is sitting on. And it has a three-part base to it with curves. So I know this is going to look weird, but what I'm actually going to do is paint all of this arrangement black right now for a base coat. And there is a frame piece that comes up that the bird is actually perched on. Because what I'll do is then, this makes it much better for a background when I paint the dead leaves and the dead flowers on this.
Dead leaves? What color would dead leaves be? Because you're painting black now, kind of dark.
They're dead leaf color. No, they'll be greenish, brownish, very dull looking. There will be cobwebs that I will have coming off the piano and off of the coffin over here. Like I said, I'll shift this a little bit when I get to that, but I wanted to paint part of this piano in here. And it's really a incredible piano when you really start to look at the thing. We never had to do anything to the piano, so I never paid that much attention to it. There's the keyboard. And there's one of the legs there. Another leg over here. And this is the end of the piano behind her here. I do have other lines in here right now I'm painting over because I'll come back and put those details in.
Yeah, we can't see those lines.
Yeah,
you can probably see them better.
Different ridges and stuff. And what I'm going to do is just to give a little contrast here. Because actually the top of the piano right here is not going to be black. It's, even though it is black, it reads as a grayish color. So, all right. And this, get some white here. This is the keyboard right here. And this is sheet music right here behind her, which is going gray because I still have black on my brush. In case you're wondering, this is the music. This is the upright piece that holds the music. Ah, that's sort of your piano. And you know what's amazing is when you start going in and looking at all the old pictures of Leota and how the table covering kept changing. It was either grays, another time it was reddish tones. I'm going to go with this is not exactly the color, but I'm going to go with it so it has a red cover on it. And there is a wild little structure that holds the crystal ball. Of course, now they have it floating. the crystal ball because it's digital.
That's sad.
Yeah, I used to think before I got the job as an artist, I used to love writing through this one scene and trying to figure out how they created her inside the crystal ball like that. Not knowing someday I'd actually be working on it. So there you go. And I am not going to put this table. I have another little table here that's in the mansion, but I'm not going to put it in. So I'm going to paint right over it, actually. And there's a fringe on this table. Well, it's covering. So,
Jeff commented, he says, "You're getting me pumped. We'll be at Disney World for a week and 5 days."
Nice. Very nice.
At least it's before the heat.
Well, if you haven't read our books, you should read our books before you go. You'll see all this in a whole different light.
Oh, for sure.
It's always fun to have everyone who's read our books, and then they go to Disney World and go on like the Haunted Mansion, and of course then they realize where they are and what I had written about at that particular in that particular section, and funny things that would happen and stuff while we were in the mansion, and it takes on a whole different feel. Well, this is where that happened, but it's like my newest chapter, when I say it was caught in the web of defeat, F-E-E-T. I'm going to switch brushes here because now this is interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
Jeff says he talks about you to all the people that work in the art stores.
Yeah. Cool.
And Gail says it's been in the high 90s already in Central Florida. So, yuck. Wow, hot.
No thanks.
Florida used to get some kind of a cooler weather up until June, maybe?
Yeah.
But it hits the 90s in March sometimes.
Yeah, that's your changes in the system and warming of the planet and everything else. You had a very weird thing that we noticed because of course when I was 13, my parents and family, we moved to Miami and Miami Beach area, and then I met Suzanne in high school, and we were 3 miles inland from the beach where we lived, and when we first moved there, that was in '57, and for years it was just so nice. I mean, you got the breezes off the ocean even that far inland, and then a very unusual thing happened as they built more and more high rises on the beach and put in more and more roads and more concrete and all that heat rising and everything, which is what they've done in Florida and Orlando area. All of a sudden, everybody started commenting on the fact that we never felt the breezes like we used to, or could smell the salt water even that far inland. It had actually blocked it. Sounds funny, but hey, everybody was talking about it. it's not as nice as it used to be. But I know in Orlando, we were used to, right around Halloween was the first cold front that would finally reach Orlando.
That's correct.
And then it would stay nice, except I would get so ticked because during the middle of winter, we would always have a 2-week spell that where it would get real hot again. And I hated it because it, like every few years, it happened right at Christmas. I was so annoyed because I didn't want it to be hot. But most of the time it was nice and cool. And of course, you know, if you're a Floridian living there, those of you who are there now, or those of you who used to live there, Romina, you too, you got used to it. And so when it was 60 degrees, you were putting on a winter coat, even at 65. And all the Northerners, all the Northerners coming down and seeing you, going like, "What is wrong with you?" Because you know, you get back up north now that we moved back to Chicago, and I remember doing this as a kid. Boy, the first day it hit 50 degrees, we'd run outside with T-shirts on. And basically that's it now. I haven't worn a coat now in weeks because it's been in the 50s, and it feels like it's a nice warm spring day. Now I'm painting this whole thing this red because there over the years have appeared different carpets. I don't know why, but there's one that's got an inset oriental design and quite intricate. I don't want to get into that kind of detail on this. And there is a carpet, in fact, I'm looking at it right now, that is almost all this color, and it has gold pattern coming around the border and a little bit under the table, which will look really nice. And don't worry, this won't stay this red. It is a good color. It's a dull red. There's an armchair that sits behind the table here, but I'm not putting it in because it would then block some of these items I've got behind. That's the great thing about doing a painting. You can just change it up. The carpet under this piano is very faded and gray. So I'm going to actually do just a quick mix of colors. Again, just so I have a base coat on here. It's very funny because, what?
No, I was just going to say this painting is coming along so interesting. I love it.
Oh, good. No, there's when we did the four of us artists, we did a commercial for Disney for Halloween one year. I write about it, a chapter about it in one of our books. And we stayed up all night. They filmed all night long, and it was about the four artists who go into the mansion, and it was pretty neat. We never got to see it because the whole thing was used for advertising outside of Florida, and we've never been able to find it anywhere. It would be fun to see it, but it shows us, checking figures and being up close to ghosts. Well, the picture they ended up using on the eyes and ears was the one of Jane, and she's sitting at this piano. I think it's the piano she's sitting at, or is it the? Oh, she's sitting at the organ. I'm looking at the picture now. But anyway, she's dusting the piano. It's like we never did that. and the article they wrote about the four of us, but they said that we put makeup on the ghosts, and we never used makeup, which we used acetone-based paint, so makeup wouldn't have worked at all. Okay, so I've got that in. Now you can see. Oh, it's funny because when I showed the Pirates of the Caribbean painting with all the colors blocked in except for the colors on the people, somebody, I forget who it was, somebody mentioned, I like it the way it looks now. Oh, good, I'm done. No. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna shift this over. My easel was made in Italy.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think I could afford one now. But I love this easel. Okay. Yeah, we can see it. There we go. This is the coffin. It has angled sides. Has some pretty fancy um, uh, scroll work and everything going on in the woodwork that I will put in there. And there is some pretty fancy molding on this thing. I'm going to come over here because this is actually the foot of the coffin here, and I'll use some of this gray to differentiate it from the dead plant. This is part of the top of the coffin that the figure is trying to climb out of. This is the top. There's the side. Okay. And just so you can see what's going on, there is the hand. So you'll get to see that. And I'll just put a light color in here because there is a glow coming out of the coffin of light.
So he would have a different glow other than the opera singer on your left?
His hand actually will be more green.
Okay.
These guys, like I said, will be a bluish green. She'll be a whitish blue. Of course, the suit of armor is gray. These figures have a whitish, like the opera singer, there's some greenish tint to them, but mostly gray. Excuse me. Okay, we got that. And this is the base of that the coffin sits on.
Yeah, some type of like skirt draping, right?
Yeah,
like
skirt draping, and there's a lot of cobwebbing down there. Mm-hmm. This again is the end here. I'm only doing the gray so you can. I mean, there will be different tones of gray and black when I do the final painting on this. And of course, this is the black floor. That's his foot under the valise that he's got.
That ghost is Phineas Puck.
Good old Phineas.
Yes. I'm never quite sure what he's carrying in that bag. Curious though.
Yeah, well, you couldn't open it up to see, so we never knew either.
Yeah, because the other two are not carrying anything.
No, just the ball and chain.
Right.
Now I know I'm painting below, so I won't worry about that. These, where's my dark brown? I want to paint the legs of the table will be a dark brown. So this is just a rough, they're very wild looking legs. What's funny is that at one point they were red.
Really?
Yeah, and it just, it's takes away from the whole thing because it's like, wow. Very odd. So this actually be
that table holds on.
Yeah, I know there's another leg back here. You'll see part of it, but this will all be very dark as it goes back. It'll go from the lighter color back here and go to darkness under the table. This and this here is the fringe that goes around the table. It's very funny. I started doing all this painting. Nobody asked any questions.
We're just mesmerized by the painting.
Okay. Oh yeah, and then we have the clock here. Which has some nice detail to it. Which I'm not putting in right now, obviously.
You know, they do sell the clock in a miniature version that actually works, telling time.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Some of you know we had a huge tree cut down that was actually mostly on our neighbor's yard. It was their tree, but we ended up having to be involved in it. And also another neighbor. So the tree, the main part of it is on this one house. All three properties come together at this corner. And I don't think we're going to pay because I don't think they ever got the other homeowner to sign the papers. And they went ahead and cut the tree down. And now they're trying to make us pay for half of it. And I went, only 1/8 of the main trunk was on our property, if that much,
yeah.
and a root. And the tree was in circumference about 6 feet. It was all over there. I went, wait a minute, that's not right. So yeah, I'm going like, that's not our problem. But they've cut it down. They took away all the upper branches and stuff, but then they piled the whole tree, the big, huge sections, and they put it all along the side of where the tree was, and it's actually on our property. I went, hey, so now it's been there for over a week. So, this is not working out at all. I'm getting really frustrated because we want to put a picket fence up and can't do anything until they get out of the way. I make our own picket fences. Every house we've had picket fences. And I have fun making our own wood. So ready to go again if I'll just get the tree out of the way. Well, look at that. That's pretty darn good. I got most everything in there. Oh wait, I can put a little bit of, you can come over here to the How are we doing on time? Oh, look at that. It's 4 o'clock.
I know, it is.
Wow. Because this guy has a brown coat on. He's holding up and he's got a scarf, but I won't paint that right now. But I'll just put some base color on here for him. So I've got him turned the other way so that he can look in the window at what's going on. I may shift him a little bit. He's partially standing. There's one of the mullions, the window frame here. And the dog. The dog is here. Doesn't look like a dog. But it will. And actually his hat is blue. I'll just use some gray on it right now. And that's the lantern, which actually has a white light in it, so that'll change. And his scarf is yellow. Oh, do this and we'll say that's it. That's what we got. And his face is a face. But one last thing, everybody. Hey, we got to put this just so we have it there. Okay. A little bit of this color there. And his hand up there, and his other hand there. Okay, painting's done. It's ready to send.
Yay.
Okay. All I will have left to do on this as far as blocking in colors now was at the very bottom, it's black, about 2 inches high in front of the carpets. You can't see it. And of course, this up here, this irregular shape will be black as the ceiling. And I'll do that before the show next week. So we'll actually get into working some detail on actually on the bookshelf, I think. So you can put the books in. And actually there are trees out here too. You'll see the black trees and gnarly trees in front of the tombstones and stuff. So, okay. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you, Romina, as always. This is great. Wow, happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there across the land. I'm having to share my birthday with you. Yeah, so Saturday night at the show at As You Like It, which plays this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the last 3 Shakespearean plays or productions of it. We are doing a cast party on Saturday night, and I'm making the cake and actually creating the umbrella tree that I created for the show that lights up in red and green and blue. And so that'll be the cake. And then down in the little corner for I'm going to put, and happy birthday, RJ. Because they all said, we have to celebrate your birthday. I went, yeah, because I can't celebrate it on Mother's Day. There's too much going on everywhere. Oh, okay. So that's it, everybody. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Our grandson, one of our grandsons graduates from college Saturday. My birthday's on Sunday. Mother's Day is Sunday. Embrace life's magic and dreams and have a great week. And we are going to say goodbye at this moment. I always like this when I have to do this. It's like goes